Independent films with Master P. A lot of those movies did really well.
I'm ambitious. I'm a hustler. I have my own lane.
That's the thing about comedy. You wake up every day, you don't know if you're funny that day.
So this is what I saw on social media. So I'm going to try to share this real quickly and we can get to it. I'm going to read through it. And then I'm going to bring in our next guest who's an educator to kind of weigh in from their perspective. Because there are a lot of perspectives on this. All right, let me put it in pause. All right, here we go. This is from Ursula, whoever. I don't know. My son got hungry, so I gave him a snack. His teacher is going to say how he can't eat. And before I knew it, I yelled from the kitchen, "Girl, he is at home, honey." And then there was silence. So Peace responds, "These comments have me confused because the teacher is right. This needs to feel like a school schedule, and eating during class is not appropriate. The obvious answer is to feed the kid between classes, as would be the case at school." All right, so the question of the day I ask you, good people, viewers of Let's Go Live, is should the kids be forced to conduct themselves as if they were in class at home? Now, the Facebook group that I saw this in has about 25,000 members. The comments under this post was easily at 1,000 by like noon. People were going at it. So it's a very polarizing subject matter, split right down the middle. So right about now, if I could bring into Miss Imani Oba. She's an educator in the Prince George's County school system. Welcome to the program. Can I hear you? Let's see. Can we hear you? Yeah, turn your shit on.
Oh, am I on mute?
There we go. Now you're loud.
I should know better, right? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to be on. So yeah, as an educator, point blank, where do you stand?
I got 5 words for everybody.
Okay.
You gotta pick your battles. You gotta pick your battles. Let me explain what I have seen.
Okay.
I have seen eating.
Slow down. Let's give some background.
Okay.
You've been
This is my first week teaching virtually with the Prince George's County Public School System.
Okay.
This is day 4.
Day 4. But how many years have you been teaching in a live classroom?
Oh, wow. Oh, live class?
Yeah.
This is my first time teaching live class.
No, how many years have you been teaching in a classroom?
Oh, come on now.
You got to get background. These people don't know you.
I thought you meant virtually.
No.
Okay, so I've been in this system for over 22 years.
Got it.
But I've been teaching for more than that.
Okay, got it.
Not longer than that, yes.
All right, so continue. Dave, what is
Okay, so I've seen eating. I've seen students feeding their infant siblings. Yes. And I've seen them changing their siblings' diapers. This is all while I'm trying to teach. So I'm seeing this. Yes. What else? Petting. They'll have their pet in their hand. They're petting while they're supposed to be paying attention. What else? Oh, wrestling. They having full wrestling matches on the bed. And I can see all of that on the laptop. You think I'm going to stop my lesson every few seconds and say something? I can't. There's no way. There's not enough time. So the chewing gum in my classroom, in a brick and mortar setting, you can't chew gum in my classroom because I don't like gum sticking on desk and underneath the chair.
Right.
But guess what? Virtually, I don't care if you cracking crabs. Just make sure your screen is showing because that's participation and that's your grade. And turn in that little form at the end for your grade.
You don't care if they cracking crabs? Is that what I heard you say?
Hey, listen, I don't care if they're cracking crabs. No.
So, all right. So the things that you would correct or that you're declining to correct on virtually, aren't those same things that you would correct in class? Like you would tell somebody to be quiet or...
Yeah, I would. Stop playing. Don't touch him. Yeah, stop.
So why is it different?
It's different because they are at home. And guess what? Our principal told us a long time ago, last week during during our PDs, they were like, listen, believe it or not, there's probably a parent behind that camera listening to everything you say. So be careful to what you say to those children. And it's like I said, 5 words, what I started off with, pick your battles. That's not, to me, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not going there with them.
So the level of focus that you have to have, I don't know if it's included in training, in educating training for watching somebody changing a diaper,
I saw it this week. I swear.
petting,
Petting their animals, sitting there with their dog, petting their cat. Yes.
and that can be, there's a level of distraction that comes along with that. Like you can't just be normal and try to continue what you're saying when somebody got the baby leg is up and they hold
And you
out and they wiping
remember, I'm middle school, so these are teenagers.
and they
So
probably get it
some
wrong.
of them are caring for, and I got emails in the spring from some of my students. I didn't do live sessions; I did pre-recorded sessions. But I got emails. Miss so and so. I had to care for my sister, and she's 6 months old because my mom had to work 2 jobs, so I couldn't get the homework into you. We had all kinds of things like that happen. So yeah, 13.
All right, so I'm stuck on the changing baby. If they were in class, who would be doing it?
Great question. So maybe daycare, maybe a family member that stays home. But remember, we're all home. So we're all home. And daycare. Would you take your daycare? I mean, would you take your child to daycare now with the coronavirus like this?
Okay, all right.
So
All right, true story. All right. So have you witnessed any ass whoopings?
no, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Any scuffles?
I have heard the parents, the moms. It's usually the moms. Get your, in there. I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that.
like into class or somewhere else.
I guess back in the room, because what they'll do is the kids will take the screen and do this.
Right.
And, I can ask them to turn their screen on, but I can't force them, and I can't spend the whole hour however long I have telling them over and over to turn their screen on. So after a while, I'm noticing if I see that screen like that, I'm like, they're gone.
Oh,
But they'll leave. I'll unmute everybody to ask a question,
right.
and that leaves that person open. They done left the room.
Well, there's some amount of discretion that you have to have also because, there may be it's like me stepping out of church. I might have to go to the bathroom. I might have to, run to the car. I might have to Uber Eats might be here. The weed man might be here. I got to pay him. Like it's got to be some things that are happening. But what about, is it affecting their grade? Do y'all now have where, 5% used to be class participation? Is that now transferred to the Zoom era?
It's a larger percentage now of classwork, and this county has gone away from homework. We don't say homework anymore. We say independent practice.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yes. So basically, we can't say homework. They're home. Everything is home.
Okay.
So we say independent practice, but classwork is a larger percentage than what it would be in brick and mortar, because we want to make sure that they're doing something while you're laying eyes on them. And even if that includes discussion, I put questions in the chat and I make them answer. And see, I end up saving the chat to see who actually answered. Right. You know what I mean? So it's a lot. It is a lot, but I've seen just about all. I haven't seen the ass whipping yet, but
yeah, I need to. You got the screen record.
I've not seen the ass whipping yet.
We had to see that. The internet we need that. We need to see that. John Watson from the Peanut Gallery says, "Can you send a disciplinary note to the parent if they're acting up and not paying attention?"
Disciplinary note to the parent. So
in real time. Kevin fucking off. He bullshit.
We can email them, and we can also CC the counselor. So if it's repeated disruption, the counselor gets involved, and the counselor goes an extra step. They might call home. Then if it's really crazy, we got PPWs that will go knock on doors.
What's that? What's a PPW?
Oh, I'm sorry. I use acronyms and y'all don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
That's the old school truant officer.
But what does it stand for?
It's called pupil personnel worker, PPW.
Oh.
But it's just truant officer. That's what it is.
Oh, all right.
Layman's terms.
That's a tough job. Now you used to, the truant officer used to catch people on the street and drag them back to the house.
Right.
Now you going door to door.
I always think of The Wire when they was going in the van and picking them up.
Yeah, that's how it be. Now he's knocking the door. Is you on the computer?
Right, exactly. Right.
Oh man. So day 4, you've seen all this. Do you think it'll improve?
That's a great question. I'm always hopeful for the best. I'm an optimistic person, but my biggest concern is absenteeism right now. It's just a shame that I'm getting only half of my students logging on, but hopefully it'll get better. I think, like I said, when the counselors get involved and those PPWs get involved, I mean, it's only week 1. I'm hoping everything gets better. It's week 1, but absenteeism is a big concern of mine. I was looking at my numbers and I was just like, why am I only seeing 16 out of 29?
Wow.
Why am I seeing 10 out of 30?
So in my limited knowledge of the school system, I know failing and keeping kids back is like a no-no. But with what's happening now, don't you think those rates are going to be higher if people are not coming and doing the work? Like, is that going to be a thing come the end of the semester?
So I believe that because we were trained a little different, and we know a little bit more than what we did in the spring. In the springtime, I'm not even going to lie, it was just a mess. It was like Chinese algebra. It was just really hard. We all didn't know. We were just thrown into the fire with no training. But I believe now things might be different. I think, we're going back to grading. See, in the spring it was pass or incomplete.
Right.
But we're going back to grades. So it's like, you know what? You don't show up. You got this 0. Guess what? I think they are going to be serious about that repeating this time.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wanting to know. So this is funny. So Leilani says, my kid's teacher called me to the screen. Have you ever had to call and be like, Tim, get your mother in front of this camera?
So we don't know if the parents are there though. We can't assume that. Yeah, we can't assume that. I wish. Now I had this one lady. She just kept walking back and forth, and I was like, she's monitoring me. She just kept walking back. She just kept. And I was like,
her child monitoring you.
Yeah, I think she was. Yeah, I think she was. But we can't assume that they're there. We have to just assume that when we're looking at our screen, these are our children in our classroom, and that's it.
All right. So to that point, though, physically, is that easier than monitoring live bodies in a classroom?
Absolutely not.
No?
No.
Like, but they're right here.
No, it's still not, because like I said, the kids can do this real fast.
Right.
And they, keep doing it. And like I said, I'm not stopping my lesson over and over to say it.
Right.
So kids are doing that, and then they rolling out. So it's like, if you're live in my classroom and, you keep asking for the bathroom, I can be like, yo, you're abusing your privilege to go to the bathroom.
Right.
But if they're at their home and they can cut that camera off, I don't know what they're doing. And that's a concern too for all educators. So
to the question of the day, which was originally, should kids, be forced to act the same way at home that they do in class? I think on some levels they should.
On some levels.
Because of routine, right? So if you don't get to eat and snack Doritos in class in front of your teacher, you shouldn't be able to do it in front of your computer just because you're home. I feel like if y'all wear uniforms, I don't care what you got on the bottoms. You could wake up, roll out the bed with pajamas, but you got to put that uniform top on. I feel like that's how it should go.
Yeah, they cut that out in our county as far as forcing uniforms, but they did have like a dress code where they were like, no pajamas, no wife beaters. But no, to a certain extent, I wholeheartedly believe that. But like I said, I'm gonna go back to my mantra: you gotta pick your battle.
Yeah, but I'm talking about parents too. Like, you should be able to just go to the fridge every time. You can't do that at school.
Exactly. Well, see, that's my thing. We can tell the kids find a quiet place, but in reality, we know if they got 3 other siblings, there's going to be a hard time trying to find a quiet place. You got your little 3-year-old brother coming behind you doing rabbit ears. So we can tell them over and over, find a quiet place where you won't be distracted. Some of my kids got their, their headphones on. They're trying to zone in on what I'm saying, but you got their little brother or that little sister bugging you. And the parents, I believe, should also have a place for their child, whether it's a desk, a makeshift desk. I got a makeshift desk. My computer is on my little pull-out table. But a routine place where they go to, a routine place where they do their work, and no distractions. And like you said, the parents shouldn't be going back and forth behind them, because that's a distraction to not only them, but to the teacher. Because I'm like, what? Why should keep going back to the refrigerator and the cupboards?
Now, we've seen on those viral videos of kids jumping into Zooms or whatever platform is being used.
That happened to me.
And so has that happened? Like, have you had that?
That happened first day. And I'm old school. It's a couple people in your chat that know me. They work with me. I had somebody's child last year that I taught. They know I'm old school and I'm strict. And I was like, that ain't going to happen to me. That ain't going to happen to me. Second period that happened to me.
Day one.
So it wasn't a photo bomb, but I admitted the students in from the waiting room, and I just admitted all of them. See, remember, this live thing is new to me because I did all pre-recorded in the spring. Right. So I just admitted everybody. I don't do that now. So one dude was not supposed to be in there. And I also didn't enable the thing where they couldn't unmute themselves. So I was muting them, but they were unmuting. And this one dude was just blasting this music, and it was like, foul music, very inappropriate. And I was just like, who is that? And I'm doing my little cursor like, who is that? Then he left out and tried to come back in with a different name.
Smart.
Yes.
Smart.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So he did come back in because I allowed him. I don't know my kids. These are just the first day of school.
Kids, right?
So he did it again. And this time he had one of the names from my roster, though. I was like, oh, but it was another student in there already with the same name. I was like, so why do I have two? And then I was like, okay. And I finally figured out to turn that mute disable thing off. And I did that. And then I saw that, like I said, I had a duplicate name. I took him out. So we do have a button that can remove you and you can't come back in.
Okay.
So yeah, he can't do that to me anymore. Yeah. I mean, that music was crazy. I was like, what the heck? So that did happen to me. I did have that, but not the photo bomb. I've heard horror stories where the teacher's thing was hacked. Porno was coming across. I had the music bomb. But yeah, I've heard stories in our teacher group that we have, the porno and sharing their screen. I don't know why I don't know why a teacher would allow students to let them share their screens. But yeah, they shared it and they were showing porno. This happened in this county. Well,
hey, it's day 4, so it ain't off the table.
I know, right?
You could get lucky.
Oh, you're right. But I got a little system now. They sit in that weight room till I do my attendance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's that control. You got to have that control feature. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate you jumping on the show today. Give us a little perspective. When I saw this morning, I mean, the conversation was just, I mean, you just could not believe the arguments that's called. Because some people were just like, nah, they're at home. That's it. They home. They do what they want. These are parents. And the other people were like, nah, if they can't do it in class, then they shouldn't be able to do it at home.
And I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle. Yeah, I'm in the middle.
All right, so we'll continue the conversation in the chat. What you about to say?
I said I'm balanced. I'm in the middle.
Oh yeah. All right, well there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Imani is a PG County educator, award-winning, 20 plus years in the system, 4 days virtual teaching, and we're gonna check in from time to time and see what type of progress you're making. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining the show.
You got to pick your battles. Remember that.
Pick your battle.
Thank you.
All right. So it's one comment I saw because I kind of agree with this. I was thinking about this earlier when I was writing about this topic. Oh, here we go. The exact flip of this conversation is work at home. So this is what I was thinking, right? I was like, yes, that's true. It's a hypocritical position that I'm taking, because if I had a corporate job where I had to wear a suit every day and had office decorum and protocols and all of that, and then you started allowing me to work at home, And then we start doing virtual. Don't expect me. I'm never turning the camera on. Don't expect me to do anything at home that we did the same way at work. Not doing it. But kids is different. This is where my position on this. Kids is different. They need the routine. They need to learn that. They need to learn how the world works. And so I feel like what you do in class, you should do at home. If it's dressing up, what you call it? If it ain't getting out you can't get out your seat every 10 minutes and go to the fridge in class. So you shouldn't be able to do it at home. And I get it's an adjustment. It's new for everybody. But I feel like to that point, to that initial question of the day, I think in order for the kids to take it seriously, because you're in school in the same space that you live and go to sleep in. That's difficult for a child brain to handle. So the only way you can really get them to dial in is if they have the full experience. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion.
I don't care if it is a closet. You still looking mad.